Welcome back! This is the big special edition that I was telling you about. It's all about Cabin in the Woods. And yeah, it's an amazing movie. And you'll see, even with it all spliced up and fun like I like to do, it's still really long. But there's lots of things I have to say because the movie's amazing. I'm pretty much spoiler-free. There are some spoilers. Depends on how much you know about the movie. Obviously, I think if you go into the movie knowing less, it's better, but I talk a little bit about the movie, so it depends on how much you want to know. If you want to go in fresh, like Mr. Costanza, then I would not necessarily watch this thing. But Cabin in the Woods is so amazing that I had a lot to say about it, and I did, so it just is right here. So here it is. Enjoy. Special edition. Whoop! Second movie I want to talk about tonight just came out on DVD. It's one of my favorite movies of last year. I mean, of this year. That's just happened, 2012. A movie by a great person near and dear to my heart, Mr. Joss Whedon. Written by, produced by Joss. Directed by Drew Goddard, who's a, anybody who's seen Buffy and Angel knows exactly who Drew Goddard is. People talk about movies being game changers. And for me, this is the kind of movie where you can go, watch it, and then you will go back and rewatch every horror movie you've ever seen. Friday the 13th, Hellraiser, Nightmare, with a whole new take on it. That's how crazy genre-bending it is. I wanted to say timey-wimey. Amazing. I don't know how much of this I could talk about without spoiler, but this isn't quite a spoiler. But the most, for those of you who've seen it, the most Whedon-esque moment to me in the movie is when the Harbinger calls. And the Harbinger says, "That the world is coming, and am I on speakerphone?" And they're all laughing. And have a good time. And I mean, to me, that's like, that's such a, it's such a Whedon-esque moment because it's, yes, there's this big, horrible, terrible evil coming, but he had to call from a payphone, and then they're making fun of him on speakerphone, and it's amazing. And that, on one level, is awesome. And the second level to that is that if you listen to what the Harbinger is telling you, he is saying the fool is not acting like the fool is supposed to be. Key. The third point I want to make about this scene is that this was the first scene that Joss and Drew wrote. This is the moment when they're writing it, when they realize, I know what we're going to do with this script here. I know exactly it, and this is the tone right here. And they're like, we have it. We know what we're doing. And I mean, when I saw that movie the first time, that was the first thing that clicked in my head was that moment. I'm like, exactly. If you understand where this moment's going, the rest of the movie is awesome. Stay along for the ride. I have this to say also about the DVD, which is fantastic, is this, special features, while a little light, are really good. There's kind of a making of. There's a great featurette where Fran Kranz talks about Marty and his secret stash. His stash that's so secret that he has to keep it secret from his other stash. Such a great line. And then, of course, the best piece, which, of course, is the Drew Goddard, Joss Whedon commentary. It's great. The commentary is amazing. I kind of ripped it and listened to it while I was driving, and it's just fantastic. It's so good. So if you haven't seen it, I advise you go! One other thing I have to say about the movie. I keep saying that, but there's more, because this movie just makes me think, and I love it. There's another great thing that I love about this movie. I'm not big on slasher movies. I liked, again, just because of the concept and the idea, I love the Freddy movies. The Jason movies, never really got that into, and I know I'll get a lot of flack for this, but I've never seen Hellraiser. Those aren't the movies that freak me out so much. For me, the movies that really freak me out are like exorcism movies and haunting movies, scary things in the background hiding, they kind of, and that kind of stuff. So for me, those movies don't scare me, but I enjoy, again, I enjoy them for the ridiculousness that they are, slasher movies and whatnot. This movie was, I think for a lot of people, but not for me, a movie that was not only scary, but a genre breaker and something that's also funny, and it kind of, in that sort of, say, Whedon-esque way, toes that line between comedy and horror or comedy and drama. You know, it's a kind of a two-tone kind of film, and Whedon and all of his team are really good about those fine lines. And the funniest part about all of this is that I can't even say that much more about the movie without spoiling it. I will say this, though. For all the violence that there seems to be in this movie, it's not... Some of it is hidden, the violence, and it's purposely hidden because spoilers. Highly recommend this movie. Highly recommend this DVD. It's out there right now for like 15, 16 bucks. Do not hesitate to buy it. And if you're truly lucky, like I was, you can get this really, not upside down. You can get this, I have to make sure we can do it in the lenticular. So, what else am I going to talk about today? I promised I would talk about Avengers. Problem is, I haven't bought the DVD yet. I know what you're thinking, but calm down. There are reasons behind it. One of which is just I can't decide what version to buy. I don't have a Blu-ray player yet. I know! How do I love Star Wars and not have Star Wars on Blu-ray? Well, what if I told you I had Star Wars on Blu-ray, but I just don't have a Blu-ray player yet? That could be very well possible. There's 3 versions of Avengers out right now. One of which is simple DVD. The second which is DVD, Blu-ray, plus a bunch of cool stuff. The third version is 3D Blu-ray, DVD, and a bunch of cool stuff. Now I know I don't have a Blu-ray player or a 3D TV, although I do have a HD flat panel in the living room, but it's not 3D. But maybe someday I'll have a 3D player, or I'll know somebody who has a 3D thing, and I'll be able to watch Avengers in 3D. All that being said, I haven't bought it yet, and I know I'm a horrible person. I, again, can't wait for the Joss Whedon commentary. I can't wait for the deleted scenes, some of which I've already seen online, and you can check them out. They're amazing. But if we're lucky, next week I'll get to that cool Blu-ray DVD review. I told you. I had a lot to say about that movie. That was a lot. But, like I said, it's fantastic. And it made me think, and I liked it a lot. So you should, too, go check it out and buy it. Because you'll want to see it over and over again. Believe me, I've seen it 4 times now, and each time I learned something new. It's just that great a movie, that layered and amazing. So, highly recommend you check that out. Like I said, lenticular. Alright, well, that'll do it. That'll do it for this week. That's 2 videos in 1 week. I don't know what more you could possibly ask for. Next week, don't worry, I'll be back with a whole new show. Trying to not do things that are 8 or 9 minutes and take up one entire episode. I'm going to try and keep the subjects short. But like I said, I'm learning. We're growing together here. So this is going to be a lot of fun. So just come back next week. Hopefully Wednesday, most likely Friday. You've seen how these things have shown up. But don't worry, next week I'll be back with a brand new show. It's going to be awesome. The only other thing I have to plug just another time is Austin Theater Project. We're doing Baby this week, this weekend, and next weekend. Come see it. It's an amazing show. We've gotten so many great reviews on it. People just love it. Sentimental, schmaltzy, amazing. Come see it. That's it. Till next week, as always, my name's Matteo. This is my show.